after the NDA? Everyone knows the journey till the NDA. What happens after that? How does the Indian Army get divided?
So it all begins before you get into NDA. Basically, people have, they want to join Air Force or Army or Navy. Mostly it's like that. They already have like preconceived, and some people are slightly on survival mode and all that. They need to just get into the armed forces or something like that, and then figure it out from there. A lot of people don't know what it's all about. So for them, there's not much of difference between an Army, Navy, or an Air Force. Some people are like that as well. But once you opt like that. So when you go through the merit and all those various stages which are there to enter into the NDA, you're classified into Army, Navy, Air Force. You come like a cadet like that from there only. So then till the 4th term of NDA, you are trained similarly. You all go through, whether you're Army, Navy, Air Force cadets, you go through the same training till the 4th term. 5th term, 6th term is when, at least that's how it was in my time. I don't know what it's like right now. But when you come to the 5th term, you divide into specialized subjects towards the Navy, towards the Air Force, towards the Army. Like the Air Force guys start flying, they start getting taught how to fly gliders. And then the Navy guys go into, navigation and stuff like that, of map reading at sea and stuff. And the Army guys go into weapon training and things like that, which are more, akin to the Army kind of a job.
Yes,
so when we finish off with all this training, from NDA itself, we divide out. The Navy guys go to the Naval Academy, the Air Force guys go to the Air Force Academy, the Army guys go to Indian Military Academy. Then we spend about a year there in our various academies, and then we get commissioned and go into our various services. I went into the Army, I chose the Army, went into the Army, and after NDA, I went to IMA. In IMA, when you're completing a year and you're about to get commissioned, there is a place where you have to opt for which particular regiment in the Army you would like to go to.
And what is that based on? Like, what are the different options?
Okay.
What goes on in your head?
So for there is a merit list which is prepared at the end of your training in Indian Military Academy. It is prepared during you're adjudged, and in your service subjects, in your physical performance, in your sports and games, in your leadership qualities, etc., etc., etc. And then you are placed into a merit depending on your total number of points that you have. So there is something called a super block, and there's something called a power block. So, and everybody else in between. So super block is the first 10 guys. I don't even remember, it's first 10 or first 20 or something like that. They are the super block. They are the top in merit in the course, and they get to choose where they want to go, provided there is a vacancy, but mostly vacancies are there. So they get to choose. Some people opt for engineers, some people opt for, like technical arms, or for the infantry, or for the special forces. It's like that. So the first 20 guys get to choose what they want. The next of the guys, they also get to choose what they want, but depending on the kind of vacancy, it depends where you go. And then there's the power block. So the power block is apparently the lowest in merit, and they also choose what they want, but then depending on the kind of vacancies, they get what is best available. The overall logic behind all of this grading and spreading out is that equal amount of balanced personalities, talent has to go into all regiments. So you'll find a super block guy going to the same place, and you'll find a power block guy also going to the same regiment. But the special forces guys, they choose. You have to volunteer for special forces. Yeah, you have to sign a volunteer form, and you get 3 options: option 1, option 2, option 3. Every guy gets 3 options. So like that.
So like, again, the Indian Special Forces, for someone who knows about the Army, it's considered, okay, this is like the most, for lack of a better word, badass part of the Army. Aam Janta doesn't really understand what Special Forces entails. Could you expand a little bit on that? Because I'll tell you what perspective I'm coming from. We see so much about US Navy SEALs, US Marines, and because of the media in Hollywood and all, it's projected like, oh, these guys are the most badass MFers in the world. And here we have the Indian Special Forces, who are probably even more badass because of the kind of terrain we have in India, because of all the different kinds of operations that the Indian Army deals with. And there's not much about that out there. And I know it's going to change in the next 10, 20 years, sir. But If the change had to begin with this question, how would you introduce the Indian Special Forces to the Indian audiences?
So, this whole perception of what special forces is, very understandably, because people who are not in special forces, who have not experienced what the job is, have not gone through the training, who have not gone through the combat experiences, etc., would like to delve into who is more, who is less, who is better, who is more this or that. But actually, people who are actually in the special forces know that there's a certain kind of mindset. You'll find a lot of people in the special forces who are not there, right?
You mean not up to the mark?
Yeah. Not up to the mark. Yeah, definitely they don't have what it takes to deliver what is required in combat.
From a mentality perspective.
Yes, it's all what you do finally when the shit is flying. That's what makes you special forces. You can wear any fancy uniform and you can carry any fancy weapon and all sorts of daggers and grenades and fly all sorts of drones and all sorts of UAVs and all sorts of jazz. You can have at your disposal. But if you don't have that instinct to explore and to handle what you find when you're exploring, then it's you're not there. So all special forces across the world, the people who are there, who are going through those experiences, who have chosen those experiences, we choose what we experience constantly. So we are the same. Yeah, it's the same exploratory spirit which is transferred into your brain and generates thoughts, and you act like that on the ground, and in some way you have let go so you can explore. That's the special forces mindset. And that is shared by all special forces across the globe. It's like that. And in some previous podcast also I had mentioned, like, if you send me naked on a mountain, like like that when I say me, I'm talking about the special forces spirit, right? You send me naked in a mountain and you leave me there, I'll get back. And I'll go and do what needs to be done, because I've chosen that experience. So that's where the spirit comes from, where you are not satisfied with what is there. You want to know more. You want to explore more. And in the quest of that exploration, special forces is extreme, because you're constantly placing your life on the line. So when you're placing your life on the line, you're going into circumstances and situations where you're placing your own life on the line, and your life connected with all the attachments you've got with the rest of what is behind you, your children, your mother, father, brother, sister, love of your life, etc., right? When you're able to put all of that there and then stand on the cutting edges of life and death, you will find. And that's a constant process, constantly going through that. So that's basically exploration.